Hi everybody, I'm Janelle with Rose Pest Solutions, and today we are on site dealing with a bald-faced hornet nest, and we're going to show you what the nest looks like, what the insects look like, and we're going to see the technician in action as he takes care of the nest.
And how do you know it's what kind of nest it is?
The characteristic of the nest itself, it's a basketball shape. It's made of what looks like paper mache. That is very significant to this particular species of wasp. There are other paper wasps that build little honeycomb-shaped paper nests up on eaves and things like that, but these guys are more aggressive. They build one of the biggest nests that we see during this time of year, and they are definitely nothing to mess with.
And you said we were noticing the flight path. So for people who are not familiar, they have a certain kind of flight path. They're up in this particular tree where it makes it safe for us to even stand here right now.
Exactly. So you'll see them coming in and out of a hole, which is one of the openings to the nest. And the flight patterns, you'll see them kind of zipping off to the trees and around this one, and that they're finding food sources. They're also feeding on wood particles and other organic material to keep building the interiors of the nest. But right now they're foraging for food, and it looks like they've got two different patterns of flight happening here. So this is the first part of the job, is observing and making sure that our technician is safe to take care of the nest.
And is this how they feed all the time, or is this just right now at the time of day?
Yep, no, they're more active during the day, so we like to do these jobs first thing in the morning before they're super active. But this is normal. This is normal behavior. They spend their waking hours foraging for food and also feeding on other insects.
That sounds super fun.
Yeah.
So then what's the first step after observing? What do you guys usually do, and what do you recommend people to do?
So definitely don't try to deal with this yourself. Don't throw things at the nest. Don't aggravate these type of wasps, because
We heard some people saying, oh, maybe we can throw a ball at it or shoot. You recommend do not do that.
Do not do that, because they will chase after you and they will sting repeatedly, and they could send people to the ER. But so from here, the plan of action is to, now that we know the flight pattern of the insects, the plan is to get some product into the nest and start to kill off the colony on the inside. So there's the entry point that we see them going in and out of. We'll treat that first, and then Elliot is going to go from behind the nest so that it's kind of out of their flight pattern, because they're going to get angry as soon as we start to mess with the nest. He's going to puncture a hole in the back of the nest and inject it with a product that will work its way through the nest and eliminate all of them. But it does take some time. So we usually will treat the nest and then let the product work through for about 24 hours, and then we come back and take the nest down.
And by then there's nothing
There
left.
should be nothing alive inside.
Got it. And then you're gonna kind of show us in a second here what a dead nest looks like, right?
It's fascinating. These things are. This is like nature's artwork right here. These things, they're building paper mache, and it's so interesting. So I thought that I would demonstrate what the inside of the nest looks like, so that you guys can see socially how they construct these things.
Okay.
So while Elliot finishes up treating the nest, I brought another nest that's been dead for a while, and I'm going to cut it open to show you guys what this looks like on the inside, because it's really fascinating. This one's been dead for quite a while. It was hanging in our office as an art piece. So this is the opening that we saw the bees coming in and out of. Mm-hmm. So let's see here. You know what? I bet you I can. Yeah, it's very fragile, although it's very strong too. Wow. Okay, so this is really interesting. The paper mache portion of the nest is really just what keeps it kind of protected, but you'll see all these chambers. These are all the dead ones inside. And it's like layers and layers of all these chambers. Each chamber has an egg sac. You see all the ones coming out of these eggs? They're kind of frozen in time. Each cell is a potential new wasp. So these could contain hundreds of wasps inside one nest.
Wow.
And these appear rather quickly. They go to work very quickly. So these nests can appear in trees overnight. And they are very, very busy. So yeah, that's the gist of it. It's fascinating, huh?
Yeah, so I mean, it's not often you get to see the inside of this up close and personal.
Right. And like, okay, so here's some of the wasps from it. You can see.
And this is similar to one we just saw.
Yep, same species. So you can see that they're not yellow and black like wasps that we're probably used to seeing. These are the white and black ones. They're often called black jackets. A little bit more aggressive than the yellow jackets. This species is actually capable of shooting venom out of their stinger to ward off predators like birds trying to come after their nests. They will actually temporarily blind their predators. So very, very aggressive.
That's not terrifying at all.
Very aggressive, very dangerous. Definitely don't attempt this yourself. Well, our guys are definitely trained to do this, highly trained, and there is definitely a risk with it too, but leave it to the hands of the professional. It's nothing to mess with.
So for people who want information about you guys, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
So they can Google us, go to rosepestcontrol.com, or call 1-800-GOT-PESTS, and we'll give you a free quote.
Oh, kind of like that right behind you.
Yep, exactly.
So 1-800-GOT-PESTS or Rose Pest
Control.com.
Well, thank you very much for the tutorial, and we'll call you when we see a nest like this.
Perfect.